Jai Hind students, welcome to my YouTube channel. Students, your mind is a powerful thing. Actually, it is the most powerful thing. When you fill it with positive thoughts, your life is certainly going to change. Actually, mind is the chief factor governing the body, and one should always avoid suggesting to the mind the thoughts of human limitations. With that positive note, students, let's start today's session. Today we will be discussing resonance in the LCR series circuit. That is, we will be discussing series resonant circuit. Right? So, before we start with the actual topic, let's discuss some previously learned topic. Like the inductive reactance, that is the effective resistance offered by an inductor. It's given by omega L, isn't it? Put this as equation number 1. Then we are aware the effective resistance or opposition offered by the capacitor, that is known as capacitive reactance. It is given by 1 by omega C. Put this as equation number 2. And students, the impedance offered by the LCR circuit, it is given by square root of XL minus XC square plus R square. It is the net effective opposition offered by the inductor, capacitor and the resistor to the flow of current. And the instantaneous current in the LCR circuit is given by this we have already proved in the previous lecture. It is given by I is equal to E by Z. E by Z LCR, that is square root of XL minus XC whole square plus R square. So these are some known facts. Now students, it very much follows that in addition to R, then L and C, the RMS value of the current in the LCR circuit, it does depend upon the angular frequency. Now current, it can also be written as in this particular manner. Substitute the value of XL and XC over here. So it would be square root of omega L minus 1 by omega C whole square plus R square. So it's pretty evident that the current flowing through the LCR circuit, it depends upon L, C, R, isn't it? It depends upon the instantaneous alternating applied EMF. In addition to these factors, the current, which is the RMS value of current in the LCR circuit, does depend upon the angular frequency of the AC source as well. Right? It is because the values of inductive and the capacitive reactances change with the change in the angular frequency. Both the inductive reactance and the capacitive reactance, it does depend upon omega, which is the angular frequency. Thus, with the change in the angular frequency of the AC source, XL, XZ will change. So with the change in the value of XL and XZ, the current through the LCR circuit will also change. Right? Now let's consider the first case. When the angular frequency of an AC source is low, then what happens is XL, since it is directly proportional to omega, so with the small value of omega, XL will also be low, while XC, it is inversely proportional to angular frequency. So with the decrease in the angular frequency, XC will have high value. So as the value of omega, the angular frequency of AC source is low, XL will be low, XC will be very high. Suppose this indicates low and this indicates high value. Right? Now consider the second case. Now gradually the value of omega is increased. When the value of angular frequency
of an AC source is increased. Now what happens is, in this case, the value of XL will start increasing. It will start increasing. Since XL is directly proportional to omega. While on the other hand, students, the value of XC with the increase in the value of omega will start decreasing. It's inversely proportional. So it will start decreasing. So as the value of omega is increased gradually, a stage will come when these two values, XL and XC, will attain a constant value, right? So at a particular value of angular frequency of the AC source, suppose we will denote it by omega naught, the inductive reactance and the capacitive reactance will become just equal to each other. So third point is, at a particular value of omega, say omega naught, both with the increase in the omega, XL will start increasing, XC will start decreasing. So what happens is, XL will start increasing, XC will start decreasing. So at a point, what happens is, at a particular frequency, what happens is, suppose that frequency is omega naught, XL becomes equal to XC. That is, omega L becomes equal to 1 by omega C. And that particular frequency we are denoted by omega naught. Right? So, this is the frequency which is known as resonant angular frequency. Right? So, here omega naught is resonant angular frequency. It is known as resonant angular frequency. Now what happens is, the impedance at omega naught, it will become square root of R square plus, in place of XL we can write omega naught L, minus in place of XC we can write 1 by omega naught C whole square. Now at omega naught, these two are equal, therefore it will become 0. So Z at the resonant angular frequency is minimum. It will only be equal to the ohmic resistance. So this is the minimum value of the impedance. Right? So therefore, when the impedance becomes minimum, the current becomes maximum. Therefore, current at the resonant angular frequency flowing through the LCR series circuit would be equal to E divided by Z at resonant angular frequency. And the impedance at the resonant angular frequency is R, which is minimum. And since R is minimum, therefore current would be maximum. So at the resonant angular frequency, the impedance offered by the LCR series circuit is minimum, and thus the current flowing through the LCR series circuit is maximum. Right? So students, a series LCR circuit which admits maximum current corresponding to a particular angular frequency omega naught of the AC source is known as series resonant circuit, and the corresponding angular frequency, that is omega naught, it is known as the resonant angular frequency. Right? We can find out the expression for the resonant angular frequency. From here, what we can write is omega naught square is equal to 1 by LC, or omega naught is equal to 1 by square root of LC. So this is the expression for the resonant angular frequency. Now omega is the angular frequency, which is 2 pi by capital T. Reciprocal of time period is linear frequency. Therefore, it can be also written like this. 2 pi nu naught is equal to 1 by square root of LC, or this is the resonant linear frequency. This is the resonant angular frequency and this is the resonant linear frequency. It may be written as 1 by 2 pi square root of LC. So this is the expression for resonant linear frequency. Nu naught is equal to 1 by 2 pi square root of LC, right? So basically, these two equations, either this equation or this equation, is called the condition for resonance in the LCR circuit, right? Now let us draw a graph showing the variation of current with frequency of the source. Suppose this is the origin, this represents the x-axis, and this represents the y-axis. Let us plot a graph showing the variation between the current and the frequency. Suppose this is nu or omega, right? We are aware with the increase in the value of omega, what happens is initially the current will also start increasing, right? Because the gap between omega L minus 1 by omega C, the gap between these two will start decreasing. As the gap between omega L and 1 by omega C starts decreasing, there will be decrease in the denominator and the current will increase. So initially, when the value of omega or linear frequency is increased, the current will also increase. Then corresponding to omega naught, which is the resonant angular frequency, the current will attain maximum value. That is known as the resonant angular frequency, right? So corresponding to omega equals to omega naught, the current will attain maximum value. That is known as the resonant condition in the LCR circuit. And after it has attained maximum value, if still the value of omega is further increased, then what happens is this omega L, it will cross. Omega L will keep on increasing and omega C will also keep on decreasing. So the gap between XL and XC will again start increasing. So when the difference between omega L and 1 over omega C starts increasing, that is the denominator starts increasing, then current will start decreasing. So students, the variation of current with the frequency of the AC source is found to be somewhat like this. Corresponding to omega equals to omega naught, it will attain maximum value. And on the further increase in the value of the frequency of the AC source, the current starts decreasing. So this graph shows the variation of the current with the frequency, right? So it is pretty clear that at omega equals to omega naught or at nu equals to nu naught, the current through the LCR circuit is maximum. Clear? So a series LCR circuit which admits maximum current corresponding to a particular angular frequency omega naught of the AC source, that circuit is known as series resonance circuit. And this angular frequency is known as the resonant angular frequency, and this linear frequency is known as the resonant linear frequency. Thus, students, at resonance, the following conditions are valid. Let me repeat it again. First point, XL is equal to XC, right? That is, the inductive reactance is exactly equal to that of the capacitive reactance. Second, the impedance offered by the LCR circuit is minimum and it is equal to R, which is the ohmic resistance, right? Third point, students, current flowing in the LCR circuit is maximum. Fourth point, the LCR circuit behaves as a purely resistive circuit, that is, current and EMF are in the same phase. They are in the same phase or in the same state of vibration. So these are the conditions which are valid when the LCR circuit is at resonance condition. Now let us discuss the sharpness or resonance of a Q factor. Q factor is actually known as the quality factor. Q factor is known as the quality factor. Okay, so we are already aware that at resonant angular frequency, that is omega naught, the current in the LCR circuit becomes maximum, right? So this is a graph. Basically it shows the variation of current amplitude with the angular frequency of the AC source for three different resistance. One is R1, R2 and R3. So basically here in the graph we have considered three LCR circuits. One is LCR1, the other one is LCR2, and the third circuit is LCR3. So these are the three LCR circuits, right? And then what we have done is we have plotted a graph between the current amplitude and the angular frequency. Now here you can observe the value of L and C are fixed. The value of inductance and the capacitance in each of the LCR circuits is fixed, while the value of resistance is different. And R1 is taken to be greater than R2 and R3 is taken to be the least value or the minimum value. We are already aware of the nature of the graph between the current and the frequency of the AC source. It's like this only, right? And just previously we have discussed the nature of the graph. Now students, from the graph, this is LCR1, this is LCR2 and this is LCR3. From the graph, the following points can be concluded. Now, initially, when the value of omega is low, we have discussed XL is low, XC is high, isn't it? So, the current is small. But as the value of angular frequency is increased, XL becomes large, XZ becomes small. So at an instant, omega equals to omega naught, the current becomes maximum. This is known as a resonant angular frequency. And if the value of the resonant angular frequency, or rather the frequency of the AC source is further increased, then the value of current in the LCR circuit starts decreasing. And this variation is valid for each and every LCR circuit, right? So these are the three diagrams showing the variation between the current and the angular frequency for three different LCR circuits, right? So from the graph, the following points can be concluded. First is current versus frequency curve is quite flat. For large value of resistance. For large value of resistance. So, for the LCR1 circuit, the R1 is maximum. So, correspondingly, the current flowing through the LCR circuit is quite less, and accordingly, the graph obtained between the current and the frequency is quite flat. Now, as the resistance R of the LCR circuit decreases, the graph is found to be more and more sharp, isn't it? So the graph becomes more and more sharp as the value of the resistance is decreased. So that's the second observation. So the graph becomes more and more sharp as the value of resistance that is R is decreased. So for the third circuit LCR3, the value of R is minimum. So in this case, the graph is sharpest, that is, amongst the three, this is the graph which is maximum sharp, isn't it? While for the LCR circuit having maximum value of resistance, the graph is flat, it is quite flat. Further, from these graphs, it follows that when the resistance in the circuit is low, then with a little change in the angular frequency, the current in the circuit changes by a large amount in comparison to that what happens in the case when the resistance in the circuit is high. What I mean to say is, students, suppose this is the small change in the frequency. Suppose this is d omega, right? This is the small change in the frequency. Corresponding to this small change in the frequency, the corresponding change in the current for those LCR circuit having high value of resistance is very low. While corresponding to the same small change in the angular frequency, the corresponding change in the current flowing in the LCR circuit having less value of resistance is quite large. So it's pretty evident from this. In all the three LCR circuits corresponding to the small change in the angular frequency d omega, the corresponding change in the current for circuit LCR3, where R3 is minimum, is found to be maximum. This is maximum. While in LCR circuit where the value of resistance is high, the corresponding change in the current is minimum. Isn't it? So, this is the third conclusion. So basically, it follows that when R is low, I'm talking about this case, when R is low, for this circuit, R is minimum, R3 is minimum, then with a little change in omega, this is the small change made, right? There is a corresponding large change in the current. There is a corresponding large change in the current. Right? So students, such an LCR circuit is said to be more selective. So this is LCR3. This circuit being more sharp is said to be more selective. So such an LCR circuit is said to be more selective or more sharp. It is said to be more sharp or more selective. Therefore, students, what we conclude from this graphical study is that for a sharp resonance in LCR circuit, the ohmic resistance of the circuit should be low. So, the conclusion of this graphical study is that for those LCR circuits having small value of R, the graph between the current and the angular frequency is quite sharp, and such an LCR circuit is said to be more sharp or more selective. So therefore, we can safely conclude that for a sharp resonance in LCR circuit, the ohmic resistance of the circuit should be low. Right? Now let's discuss quality factor. This sharpness of the resonance is also called as quality factor or Q factor. Right? So therefore, the sharpness of the resonance is called, as I've told you, Q factor, which is also known as quality factor. It is also known as Q factor or quality factor. Now students, mathematically it is defined as, at resonance, it is defined as the voltage across the inductor or the capacitor divided by the applied voltage. That is, the Q factor or the quality factor of a resonant LCR circuit is defined as the ratio of the voltage drop across L or C, across the inductor or capacitor, to the applied voltage. And at resonance, the potential drop across the resistor is equal to the applied voltage. E is equal to VR, right? So this is how the Q factor is calculated. Now students, let us find out the expression for the Q factor. Let's consider this one, first case, right? So Q factor, let us find out its expression by using voltage drop across L divided by applied voltage. That is, VL divided by applied voltage at resonance is VR. While if we use the other one, that is, if we use the voltage drop across C, we should get the same expression. Let's verify it mathematically. So it can be also written as the ratio of the voltage across the capacitor to the applied voltage at resonance. Remember, we are talking about the resonance condition. At resonance, omega naught L is equal to 1 by omega naught C. Right? This is the resonant condition. So at resonance, the quality factor of a series LCR resonance circuit is defined as the ratio of the voltage across the inductor or the voltage across the capacitor to the applied voltage. Applied voltage at the resonant condition is equal to the voltage across the resistor. So in both the cases, we must get the same expression because at resonance VL is equal to VC. So let's try to find out the expression. VL, it would be equal to I into XL. VR is equal to I into R, right? So at resonance, I get cancelled. XL is equal to omega naught L divided by R. Now substitute the value of omega naught. Omega naught is equal to 1 by square root of LC. This is the expression for the resonant angular frequency, right? So let's substitute this value over here. So what do you get? L by R, 1 by square root of LC, isn't it? Therefore, Q factor, it is equal to, it can be written as 1 by R square root of L by C. So this is the expression for the Q factor, right? Now let's consider this formula. We should get the same value, right? Let's solve it. So it will be equal to VC. It is equal to I into XC. VR, it would be equal to I into R. I get cancelled. X is 1 by omega naught C divided by R. So Q factor may be written as 1 by omega naught CR, right? Now let's substitute the value of omega naught. It's equal to 1 by square root of LC. So it would be square root of LC divided by CR. That is, Q factor is again equal to 1 by R square root of L by C. So either Q factor is defined as the voltage drop across the inductor to the voltage drop across the resistor, or it may be defined as the ratio of the voltage drop across the capacitor to the applied voltage, that is the voltage drop across the resistor. In either way, we'll get the same expression for Q factor. So Q factor is equal to 1 by R square root of L by C. So therefore, it follows that, or rather we conclude that the Q factor of LCR series circuit will be large if the circuit will have more selectivity or more sharpness. That is, for Q to be large, the value of R should be low, the value of C should be low, while the value of inductance should be high. So, the circuit will have more selectivity or more sharpness if the LCR circuit possesses large quality factor. So students, I hope you have understood all the topics which we have discussed in this particular session. So that's it for this episode. Do join me in my next lecture. Till then, be happy, study well, and always remain blessed. Thank you.